strict. He said, "You did what?" And I said, "I have become Muslim." "You worship the moon god?" And I don't worship a moon god or the moon, or I worship one God, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses and Abraham. And he said, "No, you don't." He said, "Look, you know your six-figure income, your six-figure inheritance, that's going to be gone. The things that you're going to inherit after me, gone. My family is in the petroleum industry, so very well off." And I said, "You're going to disown me?" He said, "After today, if you insist upon this Islam religion, you are dead to me. All your inheritance gone." And he said, "Son, don't test me. I will go to my lawyer tomorrow and have him change the will, and you will be completely penniless. You will have no income whatsoever, nothing from me. You will be dead to me, dead to your brothers and your sister. You're done. So choose the words that you say very carefully. Now, will you leave Islam or will you stay in this fake religion?" And I said, "Before I answer, Dad, let me tell you something. I will obey you in everything except this one thing." And he said, "Why? Before you're dead to me, explain to me why." And I said, "Dad, I have to make my own decision. There's something more than a six-figure inheritance. There's something more than inheriting property. There's something more after this life. And I don't care about this life. So when it comes to matters of salvation, you can keep your money. Give it to my brothers, my sister. Give it to charity. I don't care. I have to insist that I become a Muslim and remain a Muslim." And here I am, 32 years later, a Muslim, alhamdulillah. So after that, I insisted upon becoming a Muslim and staying a Muslim. I got a letter in the mail. 2 weeks later, he had done exactly that. He had gone to his lawyer. The amount that I was set to inherit was $600,000. And that was back in the early 90s. So it was a sizable chunk of money. I don't care if it was $600 million. Look, you and I are going to be put in a grave. And we're going to be in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one, the irresistible. And we're going to be, questioned about what we did in life after I got out of prison for a couple months. I went to the masjid for the first time, like a real masjid, not in prison. So the first person that came in was the imam. I told him about my family. I told him about the inheritance. I told him about everything. What I didn't know is there was two brothers from Saudi Arabia that were behind us listening to the whole story. And my life was just, I didn't know my place as a Muslim, as a white American Muslim. I didn't, because being a white American Muslim back then was not common, the days before 9/11. And two of these brothers, one is Khalid and the other is Abdurrahman, both of them approached me and said, "We would be honored if you would take your stuff. We have your own room with us at our house. You can be our guest. You will not touch your wallet. You will be under full expense of us. We will take care of you. We will teach you Islam, everything." And I said, "Sure, okay." And so I moved in with Khalid and Abdurrahman. They taught me Islam. They let me live. Long story short, a year later, I got on my own feet and I got my own apartment. Khalid and Abdurrahman went back to Saudi Arabia. And when they went back to Saudi Arabia, someone said, "Do you know who these two were?" And I said, "Yeah, Khalid and Abdurrahman." No, he said, "But do you know who they are?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" "These two people that you've been living with for a year are from the Prophet ﷺ's family. And you have been a guest of Ahl al-Bayt, basically. And you've lived with them and you learned your Islam from them." And I had no idea that I had been living with them. But they were the most polite, the most concerning people, the most compassionate people that I've ever met till this date in my life. And I was living with them the whole time. And that was just, to me, a gift from Allah, but that I didn't know until later.
Have you seen Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in your dream?
Twice.
Really?
Alhamdulillah. And in my dream, I was walking on the sand in a windy path with rock all above me. And I looked to my knee level and I saw a footprint. And I said, "How strange that there's a footprint in the stone." And I said out loud in the dream, "Who put this here? Whose footprint is there?" And I heard a voice behind me say, "This is the footprint of your father, Abraham." And I said, "My father's name is not Abraham." He said, "The Prophet Abraham." And I turned around and subhanAllah, there he was, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And right before I got to him, I wanted to fall on my knees and hug him, but the dream ended. So I woke up from that dream longing to see him again in my dream. And many years later I did. And I was in the desert and I saw in the distance, he took my hand and he said, "I want you to meet other people." And he sat down And I sat down right next to him, and then he said, now look, here is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And I said, and over here is Umar ibn al-Khattab, and this is Uthman bin Affan, and this is Ali bin Abi Talib. And they all love you. And I just thought in a dream, why do they love me? I'm nobody. Why do they love me? But alhamdulillah, that was one of the best dreams that I've had in my life. I love you, Rasulullah. I love you.